Hey guys, it's Marianne, Rabbit Care Virtual Support. Wanted to be real today, um, just to kind of introduce myself, answer some questions about what I'm doing, and those kinds of things. So, why am I doing this? Well, for one thing, as I did mention in my first post, the reason why I want to provide an offering for rabbit parents out there is to really help them, support them with the medical or health journeys that they have with their own rabbits. And why I think this is valuable or important is because we need our vets, right? We absolutely have to partner with veterinarians who are rabbit savvy, know how to diagnose, treat, and tend to our rabbits' medical needs. Um, but sometimes rabbit parents are so overwhelmed with what's going on medically in their rabbits, um, and kind of feel alone. They don't have the emotional support from family or friends, right? Because sometimes their own family or friends, even in their circles, will be like, well, why are you doing all these things for your rabbit? You're treating your rabbit as if they were a dog or a cat and doing all this veterinary care, treatments, investing in their care and in the hopes to help them feel better and actually help them from not dying, right? And so sometimes rabbit parents will feel alone, quite simply. They'll think that, believe in the conversation or the comments that are coming towards them, the feedback that they're getting from others around them. And they almost believe, gosh, am I doing so much? Am I really going above and beyond for my rabbit? Well, the thing is you should be, why shouldn't we tend to the rabbits who need us? They only have us to survive and to be cared for. No one else is doing it but us, the bunny parent. And so why is it that, rabbits don't get the kind of veterinary care that dogs and cats would? Well, we want to change that. There are, a lot of things that myself, others in the rabbit community are really working hard to try to change the relationships we have with our rabbits, with the domestic rabbits who are here and need us to take care of them because they really have nobody else. And so why not change that? Why not make it normal for rabbits to receive quality veterinary care that they need? Encourage education and advocacy on behalf of the rabbits, for lifetime health care, and so back to what I do is essentially offer, you know, the support both analytically and emotionally to rabbit parents. So the way I started doing this was, at the start of the pandemic, really is what I really got involved in virtual care or virtual support to people. And because I run a medical support group for rabbits specifically, I've been doing that for about 5 years now. And so I wanted to take that experience through not just chat, but I wanted to elevate that offering. Bear in mind, it's all volunteer work, but to elevate that offering for video chat. Why? Because it's immensely more effective and beneficial and productive to talk face to face to somebody, just like you would physically with an exotics or qualified veterinarian. But again, I am not a vet. I would never proclaim to be a vet, not even close to one. So my role is not of one to act as if I am a vet. My role is to offer emotional support and otherwise, health care support to bunny parents who need kind of like a partner, especially if they're not getting it from inside their own circles. There's plenty of people out there, and I've worked with them, I've met them, and they're around the world, and they kind of feel alone in this, in their rabbit's healthcare journey. So what I feel like I offer is that kind of support arm to helping the rabbits get the best possible care they can get. So, so like asking the questions and actually giving people the questions that I would have if this was my rabbit who was sick. And so I kind of help open people's eyes and go, okay, well, you have all these diagnostics, for example, right? The vet maybe explained part of it. And they did what they could, as far as explaining, results of the rabbit's diagnostic tests and things like that. But sometimes it's still royally confusing. And it's not to say that I know every single thing about every single diagnostic that exists in the veterinary world. It is a constant learning process. But what I do know is I know how to analyze because I'm actually an analyst by nature. And the other thing I know is that I'm extremely passionate about rabbits and have been caring for them for about 15 years now overall. And so I just take all that experience in addition to me overseeing a medical support group for rabbits and just applying all that knowledge that I've accumulated so far to help people figure out what's going on with their rabbit adjunct to veterinary care. So it's like analyzing, results, maybe asking questions that they would have never thought of when talking to their own vet. And so I would provide them with that. I could provide them with feedback, feedback about daily care, supportive care, things like that. Things that, again, someone could be extremely rabbit savvy and, I may ask something and really get detailed in the case. That's the case management part of it. It's like, are you feeding this or are you feeding enough of that? Or some other question, and they'll go, oh, should I be? And it's like, I'll explain the reasons why they should. And again, it's not talking about specifically issuing medications of sorts, even though I could recommend something. But what I always do is ask the member or the person I'm supporting is ask your vet about this. Talk to your vet. See if they believe this is something worth pursuing. Is it something that could be safe and effective for what's going on with my rabbit? So it's just asking the right questions and enough questions even that actually helps a person really get their rabbit through their medical crisis or journey, whether it's chronic, whether it's acute, whatever is going on with their rabbit, it's kind of allowing them to understand really what's going on, kind of get the bigger picture and help them make sense of it. And then help them, again, understand and ask the right questions to their veterinary care provider in the hopes that they can achieve, better effectiveness with drug treatment, for example, better effectiveness with diagnostics, just anything that they could do within their own control. Even though we can't control everything, it's just a matter of enabling them. So we want to enable a rabbit parent to do everything possible within their means, within their ability, to work with their treating veterinarian on behalf of the rabbit and making sure that they are getting everything that they need. Veterinarians are awesome. We absolutely need veterinarians in our lives. As a matter of fact, we need more of them. There's an extreme shortage and a crisis going on in the veterinary profession. I completely know that, and I highly empathize with the veterinarians, vet techs, everyone in the profession with what they're dealing with, especially since the start of the pandemic. So I get it. But as a result of that crisis, rabbits are losing their lives. And that's what I came to realize a couple of years ago. And that's why I said, you know what, this isn't good enough. I have to do something. I have to intervene with whatever I could pull from my own sleeve and apply something safe and something that could help perhaps, save a rabbit from dying overnight, for example. And it's worked. I'm not saying that it works every time because sometimes it's just too late and the intervention is just too critical that I certainly couldn't do anything virtually to help that rabbit. But at least I'm there with the parent. At least I'm there providing them with, at least some guidance and at least helping them feel like they're not alone, because they really feel like they're by themselves in this whole thing. In the middle of the night when they're up and they're looking at the rabbit that's dying right in front of them, what comfort do they have when they feel helpless? So I kind of step in as that intermediary, as just someone who could be that support arm and say, you know what, you're doing everything you can. You can't get to a vet tonight. We're going to see if we could try to find a vet in your area, whether ER or a regular vet, and try to get that intervention that's necessary, that's life-saving for your rabbit and if not, you're just know that you're doing everything you can to help your rabbit. And that to me, and I've been told many times, is just invaluable. It's just invaluable to have that kind of support system. So this is just a little bit of what I do and what I feel like I can offer, and what I have been offering for free for quite a while now, for well over 100 people, as far as I can count, directly in the last couple of years. And then overall, with case management and oversight in the medical support group that I do still run or help run, it's for head tilt rabbits, rabbits with echiniculi, and vestibular disease. So these are the areas I'm extremely well versed in, among other areas of rabbit medicine. So with all that experience, along with my own personal firsthand experience with, I've cared for 7 rabbits in my own care. 3 are at the Rainbow Bridge. As you can see, I've got some back here on my wall. And I still have 4 senior rabbits in my care right now. And so a lot on my plate, but at the same time, I still feel like whatever I can offer to people out wherever they are in the world, to give them kind of virtual support through video chat, ideally, because that is the most effective way I've found to really support people in their time of need. Even if I really can't do much from where I am, I feel like, it really does help and benefit those who seek this kind of help out, in addition to their treating and professional veterinary care. Hope that gives you a good idea. If you have questions, you can DM me, Rabbit Care Virtual Support, and understand also that, at this point in time, I would ask for any sort of monetary support to keep me doing what I'm doing to help multiple people in need, for this kind of advice and guidance that I give. Any amount's appreciated. I always, I'm doing what I can. I've spent thousands of hours volunteering, and it's just a little bit to kind of help me out to kind of keep doing what I'm doing, is always appreciated. Thank you so much.